A normal hospital visit for Hermione quickly turned into a complicated web centered around sepsis, needing emergency surgery and starting a truly amazing journey that began with a near-death experience. As her condition got worse, she went from having acute sepsis to septic shock, which is a very dangerous state, and almost shut down. This caused problems with many organs, breathing problems, and cardiac death. During a time of great uncertainty, she went into a world beyond our own and met Jesus. She formed a bond with him that went beyond the limits of human contact. This connection grew into a deep understanding of words, feelings, and ideas that caused both confusion and a close-knit sense of belonging. Being in this world of the stars made her feel very light, which was very different from how her arthritis hurt her every day. Her awareness stayed in this dreamy state, but the pain in her body that had been a constant in her life went away. She became closer to Jesus as she learnt more about the universe. Their hearts grew closer until he could feel how happy and excited he was just being with her. It was hard to put into words how much love and acceptance she felt. It was like the prodigal son's return, when a kid comes home to a father who is always happy to see them. It was hard to try to show this strange love and acceptance. Time in this heavenly realm was very different from time on Earth. Earth's time limits were broken, and there was no desire or sadness for her to leave our world. It was more like this world of love and acceptance made her feel happy all the time. Her meeting with Jesus was a clear, shining light that was full of love and joy. The air was quiet and peaceful, and she couldn't put into words the lovely musical sound that was all around her. Her heart and the angels in the background all worked together to praise his name, making a beautiful singing symphony. There were no words to describe how beautiful the colors were. They were so bright and shining. The scenes of rolling hills, grass, and rivers in this perfect place took her away. Animals, pets, horses, and trees talked to the stars, and the river, with its sweet flow, talked to her. While she lived on earth, she was always amazed by it and wanted to go back to it. This holy place was filled with love, and her bond with Jesus was strong. This world was one of a kind because it didn't smell bad at all. Instead, it had a soft, flowery smell that allergy patients could breathe in. There was only good things said, and bad things were avoided. The only reason she went on her trip to heaven and talked to Jesus was to show her love. When he was around, she felt like she belonged. He pointed to the right while they were talking, and she saw a group of bright balls that looked more like radio balls than stars. The different shades of gold on these balls made them look absolutely stunning. Even though it didn't have her mother's picture on it, one of these orbs still made her think of her mother, who had died tragically when she was 10 years old from severe sepsis, which was similar to what she was going through in the hospital. It was clear that she understood and was excited as she spoke. She could feel her mother's bright presence before she could see it. Her mother's soul saw the ball of light for the first time and moved quickly because it was familiar. She finally came back to life, looking more like she was in her 20s than when she died on Earth at age 30. It was like living in a new, beautiful vessel, because this changed, glowing version let out a holy light that reminded us of how great God is, Shekinah. She believed that Jesus had made this change possible, and that she would be able to recognize her mother's face right away. In a terrible way, communication went beyond the languages of this world and took on a new mental form that let people understand each other's feelings and ideas without speaking. In this deep link, Jesus, who is like a caring and loving father, saw the wonderful reuniting. When she saw her mother's calm and happiness, her heart was filled with love, thanks, and a depth of feeling that she couldn't put into words. Jesus made it clear that her mother was very excited about her coming during this spiritual meeting, even though her set time hadn't come yet. A wave of resistance rose up inside her, and she didn't want to leave, even though they were about to get back together. Christ, however, still had more to say. He emphasized how important it is to make friends with real people without any masks. He knew everything, so he could see into everyone's mind without judging or accusing them. It was strange that there was no idea of a life review in which past deeds are shown. She instead felt a lot of love, peace, and acceptance, which comes from believing that accepting Jesus as your personal savior leads to forgiveness. This event made me realize how important Jesus' teachings of love, acceptance, and peace are. He talked about how his love is for everyone and how spiritually connected we all are. He also said again how much he wanted to have a personal connection with everyone. Sound was like a channel. It linked everything to him and showed how he always wanted to connect with everyone, no matter who they were. As the story went on, the Antichrist, a rebellious figure, appeared. It gave off a dark gleam and had an aura of evil around it. It opened its mouth, letting out what seemed like melodic notes or a smoky substance that fell to earth like a dark pavement. This showed that there were evil spirits on earth. While going through several countries, she saw the growth of churches from many religious groups, such as the Mormon, Catholic, Jehovah's Witness, and Protestant faiths. Jesus was upset that the truth wasn't always clear, and he was especially upset about religious groups that taught people that they could be saved by doing good things. Salvation was a gift, a sign of how much he loves us. In his teachings, Jesus emphasized a very personal link. He wanted people to understand that salvation was a free gift and to know that he loves everyone. Throughout her spiritual journey, this main lesson stayed with her. Just before she left, she had a dream in which Jesus gave her a very important insight and let her go back in time through her life. An emotional reunion with Jesus was made possible by the careful attention of hospital staff, as this ethereal vision shows. They met and ended up dancing goodbye in a place that had a certain charm. Jesus' bright shape changed, becoming more like a person, making me think of scenes from The Chosen. They saw that they were in a huge golden city with a castle-like glow on every surface when they got together. In the dance of their meeting in heaven, Jesus told her it was time for her to come back, which she fought because she wanted to stay longer. Even though she didn't want to, Jesus told her that her time hadn't come yet, and that they would meet again someday. He said the strange words "Aata," which she learnt on earth to mean amazing beginnings. It was her adopted mother who was with her when she woke up in the hospital. She had raised her since her real mother died. The woman who adopted her said that her near-death experience was truly amazing, and they were interested in hearing more about her trip to the other side. As taught by Jesus himself, the main idea of her teachings was that he always wanted to have a close connection with everyone. His lessons were mostly about love and how he wanted to have a close relationship with people, which led to a never-ending journey back to him. The key to their shared fate, a fall that went beyond this world, was to look up at the stars. They were all led down by the inner light that shone along the way. If this story sounds interesting to you and you want to be a part of more like it, click the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and come join our group. We're thankful that you're with us on this trip. Your help is what keeps us going. Thank you for being here. We have a lot of great stuff coming your way.